Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Hannah Needs to Live. I have not come up with like a catchy opener yet for what I want to do for this channel. Let me know some ideas in the comments below. Today I am alive and I am giving you a kind of stage one house tour of the new house that I'm in with my partner. Yeah, I'm no longer living in a basement. Yay! So I'm here by the front, not the front door, but like the main entry door which comes in from the garage. I'm not going to show you certain things in this video that I think might make it easy to identify where I'm living in the future. Not because I don't trust you guys who are seeing this video now, but in the future you never know who's going to stumble across your videos and who might have whatever intentions. So, you know, I'm just going to try my best to be cautious. We moved in here, today's Monday, yeah, about 2 weeks ago. So it's a work in progress for sure, but it's presentable enough right now that I can show you a general layout of where things are at so that then I can take you along for the work in progress. Let's take a look around. So here is the entryway from the garage, the main entryway that we use. We have this IKEA shoe thing that the previous owners left. They left us a lot of stuff, by the way. Very grateful to them. They left us this IKEA shoe thing, which I think a lot of people are aware of. Influencers love it. Nailed into the wall. So I think that made it something that they had to leave. In the real estate biz, we call that real property as opposed to personal property. And I say we in the real estate biz because I did finish my real estate class. I have my certificate and I am hoping to take my licensing test within the next week or 2 or 3. One of the things I'm going to do today is study for my test. I'm passing the practice exams at a high enough rate that I think I could go get the 70 or above that's required for the PSI. I'm just continuing to practice and study just to make sure. So anyways, yes, we have this little IKEA shoe thingy that the previous owners bequeathed us with. You may recognize that painting from my previous abode in my mom's basement. And then over here, this is a door out to our yard. We also have these washer dryers that the previous owners left with us, thank God. A little coat rack situation. I promise, I feel like I need to address this. This coat is mine. It's a little light jacket. Those 2 coats are my partner's. I promise you that we bought these jackets independent of each other. We just happen to both like green. As you can see, I like a little warmer shade. I like an olive green and he likes a cooler shade. He likes this like sage green. But I'm waiting for the day that we go out in public together and somebody mentions the fact that we're both wearing basically the same color. It hasn't happened yet, but I think it will. I don't know. Anyway. Right next to our coat situation is this very cute, this is my decaf coffee, this very cute pull-down ironing board situation set up. Like, boy, what a cute little thing. And then in here is our coat closet, boot closet, other random items. And look at all the green in that closet. I promise. We had nothing to do with how much each other liked green, okay? It was not like we're trying to match. We're a couple. That's the entryway. It's probably boring. Let's move somewhere else. This is the kitchen, and there's my kitty cat. I'm very happy with these cabinets. They're solid wood doors. How do I do this so that my face is in it more? There is no dishwasher. This is the first time in my life that I'm living with no dishwasher. I am figuring that out. Every house below a certain price point comes with sacrifices, and that's one here, but we might be able to figure out how to put one in. I have ideas for that, but I like these cabinets. What I really appreciate about the previous owners, other than them being generally very kind and taking our offer even though it wasn't the highest, and then when time came for the appraisal, I don't know if I mentioned this in any videos yet, the house appraised for $20,000 less than what we had offered for it. And you know, that's a big appraisal gap to fill. Cash out of pocket. We didn't have that kind of money, obviously, but they were very kind and they were like, fine, yep, no big deal. We will just drop our price to the appraisal price, which was the original price that we had wanted to offer on this house. It had gotten driven up a lot because of bidding wars, because that's the market that we're in right now, which is insane. But I'm very thankful that the sellers didn't argue with the appraiser on the value, and therefore like we just went with the appraisal value for this house. I'm also appreciative that they are very thoughtful about their choices with like their design of this house. And I may or may not make some design changes. Even if I change stuff, I do really like a lot of what's here. So any changes that I make are not like a diss to the previous design. I probably will make design changes to different parts of the house. I'm not sure yet what they're going to be because I'm actually, I love color. If you guys have noticed from my video backgrounds and stuff, I love color and pattern and florals. But I moved into this house where everything was very neutral. And I was like, wow, this actually feels really nice. Like I've been needing this kind of calm. It's kind of like people who enjoy like a boho or grungy style. And as they grow up, they grow through the stages of like Urban Outfitters to Free People to Anthropology. Like the style kind of like refines itself over time. That's kind of how I feel here, is like coming into this house is such a blank canvas, but I almost enjoy the blank canvas more than I thought I would. I'm surprised. I'm torn. I'm very torn. So I don't know what I'm ultimately going to do. Anyway, the choices I appreciate in this kitchen. The cabinets have real wood doors, which I feel like is rare to find these days. Everything is MDF. And that was something I was really looking for in the house buying process, was quality. Quality of materials and of workmanship. We got this double sink going on, which I appreciate. I like this range and the microwave. I don't know if they're the most updated. I don't care because they're good. They work. I like them. Another thing I really appreciate about this kitchen and entryway is this faux tile. It's like a linoleum, but it really looks and feels a lot like tile. It has like texture on it. It's got this nice color palette, and it goes all the way through the kitchen, the entryway, and into the bathroom, which are all areas that can be pretty wet. I really appreciate how easy this material is to keep clean and dry while looking more sophisticated than a typical linoleum floor. We've got a lot of nice windows in here also, which is huge to me. My mental health has not been great, but having a lot of sunlight has really helped me while I've been here, helped regulating my circadian rhythm, which we'll talk about. We have our little garbage cans right there next to the Keurig, which I don't love a Keurig. I think that they're pretty wasteful, but we kind of inherited this. It was a gift from my partner's parents. This is our fridge. It's a good fridge. It's not the most updated and frilly, but it's a good fridge. And what is on here is the remote to my light that I use for filming, and I didn't want to lose the remote, so I put it there. So I always know where it is because I have ADHD. This is another beautiful bay window. God, I love the bay windows in here, and I love having the sunlight. And I have some like knickknacks and tchotchkes there right now. And of course my cat, I don't know if he's supposed to be up there. We haven't decided the rule about that. We also have a Wi-Fi router there. We have a couple of them throughout the house. So even though we have like some pretty high-powered Wi-Fi, it really doesn't travel well. Like we had to get 2 routers. Maybe we're gonna get a 3rd one. And the theory is that because this house, I didn't even mention yet, this house was originally built in the mid-1800s. So it's had several additions added on since then. It's obviously been modernized since then as well. But there are definitely a lot of places like the basement, which we're not going to go to, which make it clear that this house is from a different era. And one of those we are guessing is that this house has some metal mesh. This is something that my partner's aunt was suggesting because she has an older home as well, that there's like metal mesh possibly in the ceilings or in the walls for something construction related that I don't understand, but I would like to find out more about. And that might be inhibiting the Wi-Fi from traveling. So we have multiple routers throughout, or multiple modems or something. I'm not good with the words. I need to get better with the tech words. So we have that one here by the window. Panning around next to the window on this wall, we have cat corner, cat food, cat water, and our little corkboard whiteboard situation. One of the things that is here is our Jupiter and Hobbs BFF plan. It's a lot of Jackson Galaxy shit, and you know what that means. Today is a momentous day, not only because I actually have time to film and it looks okay in here, but also because we are getting my partner's cat, who we were not thinking that we would get. My partner has a cat named Hobbs, who is a sweet little orange cat. He's 1 year younger than Jupiter. When we were originally looking at moving in together, we started off thinking that we were naturally going to bring both cats into this household, integrate them together, use a lot of Jackson Galaxy tips. What happened was we did a scent swap test. Basically, we have 2 blankets that look identical because we both worked at the same company for over a year, and they gave out the blankets at Christmas time as like a little Christmas gift. Mine was very covered in Jupiter's scent. My partner's was very covered in his cat's scent. So we switched the blankets one day to see like how the cats would respond to each other's scents. Jupiter was curious about the scent of another cat, but he was ultimately like unaffected, other than just being like, where is the cat? Hobbs, on the other hand, hated the blanket once he smelled Jupiter's smell on it. So we thought long and hard about trying to integrate the 2 of them. If the scent alone is enough that like Hobbs didn't want to come into the room where the blanket was anymore, then I don't think he's going to have a good time moving in with the cat that makes that scent. We made a plan to give Hobbs to Andrew's brother and his wife because we wanted him to be happy, we wanted us to be happy, we wanted Jupiter to be happy. I think Jupiter... Hi, come here. I think Jupiter is going to be happy having a new cat around, but if Hobbs is not, then that's going to make Jupiter anxious. Like there's a whole dynamic at play here. Anyway, if we made a plan to give Hobbs to my partner's brother and his wife, why do we have a paper that says Hobbs and Jupiter BFF plan? Well, good audience member, for reasons undisclosed to us as far as I know, my partner's brother and his wife are no longer willing to take Hobbs in. That's totally their right. However, it does throw a wrench into our cat introduction plans because now it's been 2 weeks of Jupiter inhabiting the house and filling it with his scent. Whereas if we were able to take both cats here at the beginning, there would be more of an equality to the situation rather than Hobbs joining into a space that's already Jupiter's. So I don't know how that's gonna go. It's a little bit rough to have that change of plans, but we are, like, I like Hobbs. I think he's a sweetie, and I think Jupiter is a sweetie, and I think that they're hopefully going to get along if we as the humans properly implement the introduction process and manage our expectations. We don't need them to be best friends. We just need them to tolerate each other. So today is the big day. After my partner gets out of work, we are going to go get Hobbs. We're going to bring him here and we're going to whisk him away immediately into my partner's office. And that's going to be his headquarters for the first little while until he feels comfortable to come out and explore. That could take hours, it could take days. We are okay with whatever. We are going to be patient because the last thing that we want is to foment any agitation between the 2 of them. I think, like I said, that Jupiter is gonna be happy to have another cat in the house. He always wants to play. He wants a playmate so bad. But I don't want him to see Hobbs as a toy. I want him to see Hobbs as another equal cat living here. They're both adult males. Junior's about to be 5. Hobbs is around 4. So we just need to be careful about how they might integrate with each other. We also have a very reliable plan in place. And as long as we as the humans project confidence and calm, that's going to help a lot. And if we follow the plan, it's going to go well. This is typically how it goes with the Jackson Galaxy plan, is if you follow the plan, it works. If you don't, then it doesn't. We're going to give it our absolute best shot with all the hopes in the world because Jupiter has wanted a brother for a long time. And I would really love for him to have one. We're gonna see how things go. At 1 month in, we're gonna really seriously assess where they're at with each other, how much progress they've made, if any, and go from there. Like if we have to keep Hobbs in a separate room still for like a whole month, then to me it's like, okay, I just don't think they're going to integrate. And the thing is, both of them are very anxious cats, and from what I've read, pairing up 2 anxious cats can go great, but it also can not. That's the frustrating part of of reading about different cat pairings, but I understand a lot of it is anecdotal. So we will be having our own anecdote here to show you. Pray for us, and let's continue the tour. Also, any suggestions that you have, please leave them in the comments below. All I want is for this successful integration to go successfully, for the love of God. Thank you. All right, tour. Okay, leaving the kitchen now, we head into the main living room. So this door that's propped here goes into my partner's office. We're not going to go in there. It's just propped so that Junior doesn't like yell. He hates a closed door. He will go up to any closed door and complain about it until we open it. Even if he doesn't go in there, he just wants it to be open. Speaking of, this is another door that should be closed, so I'm going to close it. From here, we turn this a ways, and we have the dining area to be. This is where stuff is going to start looking a lot less put together than it was in the kitchen. It's going to kind of get worse and worse as we go from here. Anyway, this is where our dining table is ultimately eventually going to go. Like the cat tower might not stay there, or we can leave it there and just move it if we have company. Right now we have a little eating setup. You may notice that this little table here is awfully similar to the one that we have here in the kitchen. This set with these rectangular stools came from my partner's family. And then this set over here with the cushioned chair-like stools and the shelves is mine. They've both been handy. We're probably not going to keep both. Remains to be seen. These are nice placeholder furniture sets for us for the moment. I gotta say, not very comfortable chairs at all. The tables are fine. They're like flat pack, cheap, whatever. But if you get the tables, just get yourself some nice chairs. This light fixture was left by the previous owners. Again, beautiful, thoughtful. Love that very much. We have a little cat toy corner over here, as well as a chair that I'm calling the maybe chair, which is where, like, if we have guests over, we may or may not have enough people to use that chair. For now, though, it is Junior's comfy chair to sit on, because he's not allowed to scratch up the other comfy furniture, which is over here. So as we turn this way, probably the most established room that we have is the living room area. Trying to find furniture, God, it's frustrating. And God, this stuff costed more than I wish it would. But it is still on the affordable side as far as sectionals and rugs go. Really quick. This is how it looks with all the pillows cleared off of it so I can play with Jupiter in the morning. But this is not the normal setup. That's a little better. That's a little bit more normal. So yes, sirree, Bob. We have this sectional from the Raymour & Flanigan outlet near us. We have this nice rug from the Bob's Discount Furniture that's relatively near us. We have these nice, beautiful bay windows, which I love and Junior loves. Junior is Jupiter, by the way. I'm going to call him like 7 different names because that's what I do. I'm not opening them right now because, again, I don't want to dox myself. Over here on this wall, you will see my partner's TV, which we got a special amount for. We have this furniture piece, which we're using right now as a console, but which I would like to have it be my first piece where I learn how to like refinish furniture, because I've been getting into woodworking lately. Really, really nice. I have a little game basket. I have some pillows for, we had company this weekend. We kind of unexpectedly had company multiple times this Easter weekend. So I wanted to have pillows just available in case we had too many people and somebody needed to sit on the floor, then they could sit on something comfy. Thankfully, it didn't come to that, but it was awfully close once or twice. The blueprint is there for what's going to be a nice little entertainment zone. We can do a pretty nice size console there. We want to do a rug over here under the dining room area, like a nice proper dining room table, all of that stuff. We think we have something coming that's going to be a hand-me-down from my partner's family. TBD. So yeah, this is the room especially that I came in, and the original, like the previous owners had all neutral stuff. White rug, couch probably around this color, but with no colorful pillows. Everything was very beige aesthetic. And for the first time ever, I walked into that space and I was like, I actually like how calming this feels. I didn't know how to feel about the fact that I kind of appreciated that look. So we're certainly figuring and debating what we're gonna do. And then over here we have our stairs. I really love, like, they got these little decorative doodads here on the stairs. Beautiful. The wooden railing is gorgeous. It's proper, good quality. Like, this is not gonna come off if I grab it too fast coming down the stairs. We have a little storage closet here, which again is propped open because Junior hates having closed doors. I think this used to be the front door of the house. We have this stained glass window. This is a real stained glass window. I really enjoy the quirks that come with the age of this house, to be honest. Like, nowhere else am I going to have a house with a real stained glass window just like in it. It's so pretty. Sure, the floor is uneven. Sure, there is trippable wood planks that stick up a lot farther than the others, and we know why that is, and we may or may not fix it sometime. It would be kind of big structural fixes if we did. And like, sure, there is no single level surface in this house, but it's just so beautiful and big, and it works exactly for what we need. Okay, so those are the most established places in the house by far. I'm going to give you much more brief overviews of the other spaces in the house because they're not finished at all. So we come up our staircase, lots of old house sounds. We come into this room here. This is where we are currently staying as our bedroom, but it is not going to ultimately be our master bedroom because, as you can see, quirks of the old house. The ceiling is fine over here, but then it gets real low and sloping. Here's like the opening of the room, and I can go here. The bed goes a couple more inches past me, and my head is hitting the ceiling. So for me to get around to my side of the bed where I sleep, I bend, walk around, over sidling over here to then lay down in the bed. There's just not a lot of space where I can stand up fully. My thought is that this level used to be like an attic and was not necessarily meant for people living in, but then they converted it, and God bless them, it's very helpful to have. I'm thinking this can be like a guest bedroom space / craft / like sewing kind of room. I want to figure out a good decor scheme that is going to like not make this a constant like barrier to my ability to function in this room, whatever the function is. We have our upstairs bathroom here. I am realizing I did not show you the downstairs bathroom. Right next to the fridge is the door to the bathroom. Nice solid wooden door. Another thing, I like all the doors that they chose in this house. This room is green and white, which none of the other rooms are green. And this is like my partner's favorite shade of green too. Very cute. We have the little paneling on the side. I forget what this is called, this effect. We have a little pedestal sink, toilet, little medicine cabinet situation. I like this bathroom a lot. There's not much that I would like to change. Maybe the wall color. But then they left us these nice little curtains that match so well, like I appreciate the gifts that the previous owner left us. Then they left us this big old cabinet, mirror of course for outfit checks, and lots of room for stuff. So really, it's a pretty good little full bathroom. 2 full baths, lucky us. Another way that we are blessed in this house is that we have 2 full bathrooms. We have this stand-up shower, which I've only used once because I need to replace the shower head because the shower head that is in there sprays me in the eyeball. I tried moving myself and moving the shower head several different directions. No matter what, the way that it sprays, there's always some spray that hits me in the eyeball. So I'm going to change up the shower head as soon as I can. It's just a nice little standard little shower. Right next to the shower, somebody built in this cabinet that goes under the eave. So I have some things in there. It goes back pretty far, so if I want to store some things, I sure can. That's my skincare basket. Then I have some other storage in here as well. So this is very handy for a small bathroom. Our bathroom's interesting. Our bathroom tour is interesting. You tell me. We got our nice checkered floor, which has been very polarizing. My brother hates it. My friend loves it. My sister is meh about it. Tell me what you think about it. Also, I keep my cat litter situation up here. This is a room that I can definitely see being ripe for a redesign because it's gray, and I'm not a big gray gal. This whole side of the bathroom is this really sweet little nook. We have our heater, little towel rack over here, and then we have this window. And then here behind the door, we have this little nook area, again, underneath an eave. And the previous owners had a dresser in here where they were storing linens and stuff. I am using it for my cat corner, litter box corner. It's just a nice little hideaway for something that probably most people don't want to see. I probably won't show it again on this. So that's the bathroom, utilitarian, but still just a nice little room as far as bathrooms go. Now over here, this is the primary bedroom, and it is the most work in progress out of all the rooms, I think. This is another room where it's clear to me that the designer was grappling with the eaves of the roof. Thank God they did this cutout window situation, otherwise I would be having the same crouch over deal that we had in that room, and that would be intolerable. We have these curtains that were left by the previous owner. Any curtains that you see here right now were left by the previous owner, by the way. This is where the bed is going to go. We have a king bed on order, and then we will have bedside tables under these parts of the eaves, which are these bedside tables. We got a furniture set from Raymore and Flanagan Outlet. This is the other side of the bedroom. Again, an eave. They did not do a window cutout situation with this one, which is fair. That's expensive to do to your house. We have the other pieces of the Reggio set from Raymore. Not sponsored, by the way. Nobody knows who I am or cares to sponsor me right now. But these are hardwood from Raymore and Flanagan Outlet. I recommend wherever you get your furniture from, look for real wood. But if you're looking for something brand new, this is relatively affordable as far as sets go. This is a little laundry basket situation. I was thinking about moving this over here, where I currently have a little dresser. So behind this door, this is what I mean. The previous owners utilize every little spot so well. I love it. Here is the door to the bedroom, and behind here, we have this sweet little nook. And there's my blue dresser from the other house, which fits exactly perfectly in there. And it is cute and it is sweet, but it is also kind of in a dark little corner. So as much as I think that is serendipity, that it does happen to fit so perfectly, I think I might switch, put that over there. I think this can fit here, and then I can do all of my getting dressed out in the open and still utilize this space well. This is the closet. Most of my stuff is hanging up stuff, so I have taken up most of the closet, as opposed to my partner. Most of his stuff is folding stuff, so he's gotten most of the dressers. This rug was donated by my partner's mom. I think it's cute. And this is, again, another space where the eave plays a big role in our ability to use it. Again, these prior owners utilized every space, every inch that they could. I'm pretty certain they, or the prior owners, custom built this closet setup with a lot of hanging space, a lot of shelving, which we can paint that up. It'll look okay. A lot of different varieties of hanging and shelving, things that you can do in here to make the most of this little space. This room is certainly a work in progress, but I really like it. It's spacious, it's tall, I'm tall, so I like walking around and having room. They really did the best that they could with this bedroom and this whole upper floor dealing with the eaves. I have to eat breakfast and go to the doctor. I need new medication management again, so I'm going to ask my doctor for a referral on that and let her know about some very positive updates in my life, which is that since I've moved in here, I've been sleeping normally. It's been 2 weeks. And I'm no doctor. So the only explanation that I think of, or that I can think of for this, is lowered stress, lowered cortisol, being in a place where I feel welcome and wanted and not like a burden, not guilty to exist here. I'm not trying to sleep better. I'm just not waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning. And it's been really, really beautiful. Something about being in the new house, but also I think something about being in a bed with my partner long-term, repeatedly, is really helping to ground me. God, my voice is dry. I think I'm gonna be healing for a year because I've spent 4 years sleep deprived. So 2 weeks of sleeping normally again, I'm not back to normal. But I feel much more able to get there now, which is awesome because that's what I have wanted and what I have needed right now as I'm trying to build my business and get started in real estate shortly. Which, by the way, the reason I'm doing real estate is as a supplement to my income through teaching voice and piano lessons, so that I don't have to put a bunch of pressure on students to take lessons if and when they don't want to, and so that I don't have to charge more than I need to. Really what I would love to do is be able to support myself, maybe through real estate, maybe through something else, in such a way that I can offer as a nonprofit the private lessons for free, because it's just such a valuable skill. It's also such a like internal growth process, learning how to sing or play an instrument or act or any of that stuff. So I feel like there's a lot of good, even if it's not people like who want to be a musician or be an actor or something, who just want to sing in front of their friends or family without feeling embarrassed. Maybe they sing at church on Sundays and like by the end of the service, their voice hurts and they don't want their voice to hurt anymore. Common practical use cases for people who just enjoy singing for their own purposes, unrelated to stardom or anything, career. People who find it fulfilling and rewarding to engage in a hobby that they thought they had to leave behind when they were a kid, for example, and they're getting into it again as an adult because now they have a little bit of me time for self-discovery and self-growth and self-love and self-care and whatever else. Maybe a little bit of escapism from the world around us because God is on fire and awful. All these different types of reasons that people might take voice lessons. I want to be there for free without having to become another burden. Right now, I can't do that. I think I'm offering a very reasonable rate for my experience level and my effectiveness. I don't brag about much, but I will brag like I'm a very good voice teacher. I'm a good piano teacher. I'm good at teaching private lessons. So that's a big, huge part of why I'm doing real estate, to be a second source of income. Also, I have some debts I need to pay. I'll just be honest about it. I have student loan debt. I have credit card debt. I have a loan debt that I use to buy my car. Like I want to be debt free as soon as possible. So now that I have house security, I think it'll be a lot easier for me to do that. There's an area where I can teach voice lessons and piano lessons in the future and acting and everything else. I will show that space to you in another video because it has its own long discussion to be had about it. And we've had a lot of long discussions already. So I'm gonna cut it here. I have this just be a video of the living area of the house because my office area is separate. I gotta go. That's the updates. Quite a beautiful blank canvas that we have to work from. Probably the cheapest house in this town, and God, if it's not perfect for us. What I'd like to do is, as we address each room or like little changes that we're making over time, I'll give you little update videos. But this is our blank canvas. This is our starting point. And honestly, like I said, I'm surprisingly happy with where it's at from the start, with it being pretty neutral. I typically like color, but I also love how many windows there are and how bright and sunshiny it is in here. And adding color to the walls can cut down on how the light reflects and how bright it looks and stuff. Maybe that wonder and joy about the sunshine will wear off a little bit as I accept that I'm no longer living in a basement and I get used to seeing the sun a little bit more. But I also just like how calm it feels with the neutrals. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because you've seen my style and my aesthetic through my videos over the years. Now I'm also sharing the space, of course, with my partner. So I, of course, want and need to be respectful of his design desires as well. He's so funny. He's really into landscaping and taking care of the outside of the house. I have had no thoughts whatsoever about the yard, plants, flowers, and like landscaping and stuff. And he's like, oh, we got to do this. We got to put flowers in the flower bed box. We got to take down this hedge and instead we're going to put flowers. I got to pick up all these sticks from the yard because I'm going to mow. He's excited about everything outdoors. I'm excited that he's excited about it because I like all the interior stuff. So as a team, we can divide and conquer, and that feels fun too. Okay, I have got to go. That's the phase 1 freshly moved in house tour. I will give you more updates as I get more updates. Let me know what you think about everything I mentioned. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's not super long, or I hope if it is long, that it's engaging and entertaining. You let me know. I really appreciate you and your time and the fact that you're spending your time here with me. I'm wishing you all the best. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.